Alright, so this is part 4 of what a female deku was Alduin's sister. Now, I know some of you may be confused on why that last part got age restricted. I'm going to have to be a lot more careful with my wording this time. So, I believe we last left off. Hold on, let me check where we last left off. Alright, so we're going to pick up after the combat training with the school day ending and Kirishima going to the coordinates that Aura gave to him. As once Kirishima gets to there, it's in a forest. It's in like a forest clearing. As Aura would be standing there in her casual attire, as Parsanax would be with her. As Kirishima would ask her who is the guy standing next to her, as she said that this is her older brother, Parsanax, and he'll be helping you learn the way of the voice. As Parsanax would give the explanation that he did in the game when you first meet him, as he then says that the first shout you will learn is Unrelenting Force, with him saying that Aura will be Aura. He'll use Aura, her human name, as he said that Aura will pass on her understanding of the first word of Unrelenting Force, Fus. As she would pass on her understanding of the word. Sorry about that. As Kirishima would learn the first word of Unrelenting Force, with Parsanax telling Kirishima to try it out, as he would say the first word, as he'd say Fus, as the trees would move slightly and the branches and the leaves would rustle, with Kirishima being surprised as he says that it isn't quite as powerful as he imagined it to be. As he says, as Parsanax would respond with, well, it is only the first word of that shout. So, once you learn the full thing, you will understand the way of the voice. As for the next couple months until the USJ incident, Kirishima would be practicing and learning more words of the way of the voice, to the point where he knows the same words, the same shouts as Aura does, as we'll then get to the USJ. With them arrived and on the bus and headed towards the USJ, as Sue would ask what Aura's quirk is, as it is quite similar to the Dragon Hero Ryoko's. She would say, As she would say, oh, it's probably just a coincidence that our quirks are quite similar. As Todoroki, being the sorry about that, being the conspiracy theorist that he is, he would think that Aura is Ryoko's secret love child, because we all know that in canon he thought that Izuku was All Might's secret love child. So we will then get to the USJ, with 13 giving their speech on how quirks can be dangerous. If Kirishima would look down and say, "Hey, you guys have even got fake villains," as Aizawa would look down at the amount of villains that were pouring out, as he would say, "Those aren't fake villains, those are real villains," as Aizawa would get ready, would jump down there as he tells 13 to protect the students. As Aizawa would begin to combat the villains, Kurogiri would warp everyone away, with Aura being warped to the water zone, as she would be above the water. As then they would be on the boat like they were in canon, as Sue is trying to figure out a way on how to get them off, as Aura says that she knows a way, and to give her a minute, as she would use the shout, I think it was Animal Allegiance. Yeah, it was Animal Allegiance, because I'm pretty sure a lot of the water quirk users in that area had mutation quirks, as all of them would completely forget what's going on, as Aura would pick up Mineta as she would fly over to where Aizawa was, with Aizawa being beaten down by the Nomu, with Aura launching a fireball at the Nomu, which does damage the Nomu a bit, but it regenerates. As Aura would be thinking, so if it can regenerate as well, that's fun, in like a sarcastic tone, as Shigaraki would point towards Aura, as he would tell the Nomu to get the girl, as the Nomu would immediately dash over, as Aura would become ethereal, as she would go completely invisible as the Nomu swipes for her, which she basically avoids it, due to become ethereal basically being God mode. More or less temporary God mode, but still God mode. As she would then get behind the Nomu and go to throw a punch at it, which doesn't really work as well, as she would then she would use Storm Call, which Alduin and Parsnax told her to use if she was in trouble, with Parsnax and Alduin and Nana seeing the storm cloud formations above the USJ, as Alduin and Parsnax would know that Alizai is in trouble, as they would then fly over there, with the Nomu eventually grabbing Alizai and basically holding her hostage. As soon as Shigaraki is about to list his demands. The ceiling of the USJ basically collapsed inwards as they see two massive dragons turn into two human states. As Alduin would say, no, Parsanax would say, we kindly request that you let our youngest sister go. But if you're not willing to do that, we're always up for a fight. As Alduin would begin to stretch, as Shigaraki would tell the Nomu to deal with those two. As the Nomu would begin to dash towards them with Alduin using that meteor storm shout that he has, which basically causes the meteor to crash down on the Nomu. As Parsanax would begin to breathe fire, use the fire shout on the Nomu, which basically defeats it. As Shigaraki would begin to scratch his neck, stating that they cheated with Aura, realizing Shigaraki's about to do something, as she then uses Unrelenting Force to basically send Shigaraki back, as Kurogiri says that we've lost and we'll need to retreat, with Shigaraki saying that saying fine, but we'll get her next time, as they both begin to retreat. And that is where I'm going to leave this part off. I do hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.